Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to another exciting edition of Sunday Night Skippy Racing here. And I tell you what, this one is going to be a absolute barn burner. Joining me tonight, as always, is Pim Luth. Pim, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. Looking forward to this race. A little bit rested after the race from this morning. We had a great race at that oval. And I'm actually looking pretty much similar. If you look at Oulton Park, it looks like an oval to me. So, yeah, looking forward to see if we can see the same excitement.
Yeah, there's... this is going to be an interesting one for sure. With these Skip Barber Formula 2000s working their way around this... relatively oval course, as you pointed out. Matt Shepka joining us in the booth as well. Matt, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Excited to watch this. It's going to be a little different than Road America was.
Look at that. I even hear his dog is quite excited about it. So
yeah, he's very...
That's going to be fun.
Looking forward to it. Everybody's super excited about this race. You know who else is excited? Our extra special, super awesome guest broadcaster tonight, Liam Smorl. Liam, are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, how are you doing tonight?
Good.
Good. Are you excited for tonight's race?
Yes.
Yes.
So Liam, if I may ask a question, how old are you?
7.
You're 7. Wow. And what do you like so much about racing?
Well, I like that it's so exciting because there's like so much cars and so much teams that only like one car or one team can win.
Completely true. Yeah. That's also what I like about racing. So we can shake the hand about that. And who is actually your favorite driver, and why is that your favorite driver?
I like Jimmy Johnson because I like his paint job.
Ooh, paint jobs. That's a good one, because then I might ask you to look around for the cars, and maybe afterwards we can ask you which paint job you thought was the best over here, because we have some amazing paint jobs here in this race.
Okay.
That sounds great, buddy. And what is your favorite part about racing? I know you like racing. What do you like about racing?
I like about racing that there's like, it's so exciting that there's like
Well, that was a nice. Chris, how do you do that so early and then immediately already here in the booth? We'll get them young up here.
Yeah. we'll get them back up there. I tell you what, man, sharing iRacing with your family is probably the ultimate in job satisfaction here. So the fact that my son is into this is, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to explain it.
No, Chris,
it's so incredible. Yeah,
it is incredible, and it's great to share. I will tell you, my wife always nags me about when the next race is, but I know that she's watching, and I know a lot of other family members are watching. So that's great to see. I do see that we already we finished our qualification, and we have a big surprise. Chas Webber has taken that first position over here, over Nicholas Matza, who was, I think, for 3-4 races in a row already on that pole. So great to see that we have a new contester over there. Chas Webber is going to see if he can hold that. Greg Montgomery has done a really good job, is on that 3rd position. And after that, we see Ian Worrell, Nate Struhl, Zach Snyder, Joe Zubo, 7th position, Dan Pagalski, Peter Lee a little bit in the back. I was hoping on a good result for him, but 9th position, he will need to work on that after qualification. And then we see Barry Stockdale, Rusty Pontenberg, John Anfuso. That's a new name. Great to see again new drivers over here. Of course, we have also
Absolutely.
our Oulton Garden guys. Carter Stickney is here. David Gray, relatively new. Jake Ashe, 15th position. Whoa, that needs to be, there happened something in his qualification. There we see Greg Sharp, Melody Chance, Chris Girondellis, DJ Brooks. DJ Brooks. I heard that name before. Did we already? Is that a new name?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I'll take it.
All right, nice. Well, we're going to have a look at how he drives over here. Currently at the 19th position. Has Kurt Smith right next to him in the stand-up. And then we see Rich Butler, Richard Raboya, Michael Rebuck. I know that that's a new name. I hope I say them correctly, guys. Otherwise, always mention that in our Discord. And then we have at the last position Scott Allen. And that makes 24 cars. What about that, Chris?
Yeah, that's a great, healthy field for the SF2. Honestly, I don't even know if SF1's going to meet this. They didn't last week. This is a great, healthy indication for this SF2 series overall. And I'll tell you what, man, I love this SF2 overall series. They clearly have a. I'm sorry, I'm trying to listen to.
Yes, the Joe
I'm trying to listen to the. I'm trying to listen to the overall drivers briefing here, and it's completely distracting me just a little bit. But what I'm trying to get at is this is a great race, and these guys and gals will have a lot of challenges ahead of them here.
Yeah, no, they do. It looks a very simple track, but that also makes it very fast. I'm very curious about the corporation. I read a couple of things about it in Discord. Matt, have you any updates? What do you think is going to happen? What do we need to do up here?
I think turn 3 and 4 are going to be like the makers and breakers of this race. You're going downhill, you're going pretty quick. The first 2 or 3 laps are going to be cold tires. And if you go off track to the right, you can't really stop on the grass. You'll be cutting across the track coming out of turn 4, which can be dangerous for people who are not paying attention.
Yeah, we do see that they're starting to line up all right now. Always takes a little bit longer here in Formula 2. I'm not sure why that is.
Yeah. It's a fantastic looking field, though. Look at this. All of these drivers ready to go down on Oulton Park here. Oh, my gosh. What a great view that these drivers have. Liam, are you still with us? Oh, no, he's not.
No, he's not. Well, I hope he comes back to us because he had some nice insights. We do see the start is going over there.
Look at this.
All right, and it looks like everybody made it to turn 1. That's already an accomplishment. We do see that Chas Webber is leading above Nicholas Matza, and he rolls on that 3rd position. Took that spot from Greg Montgomery right over there. And it looks like everybody goes clean too over here.
Oh, we've got 2 drivers off track already.
Let's have a quick look what exactly happened. Scott Allen, a new driver over there. Oh, a little bump in the middle. Not sure why that happened, but that's basically the only incident that I saw so far. So we still see Chas Webber ahead of Nicholas Matza. All right, and here they go. That is already 1 lap to go in 1 minute and 12 seconds for Chas Webber. And the rest is a little bit slower. I do see in the back Joe Zubo, and look at that Peter Lee. Is he going to make a move over there? Has opportunities. We're looking here. Currently, they're all lined up. One big line of cars. Let's have a quick look at the track map. You can actually see that they're all glued together. How is it going with Chas Webber? He's holding still that first position. But also great to see Ian going off over there. Ian is really solid and is really sticking to that third position. And so they're making a little bit of a gap between them and Greg Montgomery, Nate Struls and Zach Snyder, who is currently on the sixth position. Great to have him drive over there.
There's some good battling throughout the field too. Seeing the battle for P18 and P19.
And that's a great one that you mentioned that it's DJ Brooks and Greg Sharp. And I do see that Dempogowski made a crash over there. And has to go all the way to the back and ooh. Luckily all the drivers noticed that on time, but he's gonna jump a lot of spaces.
The leader just wrecked.
No, Chess, what happened? We just see him going into the air. Let's have a quick look, Chassis. Oh. I think there was a contact between Chas Webber and Nicholas Mazza. Oh, that's going to be an interesting for the stewards. Chas Webber gets bowled out of that corner. That was a little bit of a big bump that I didn't expect. Let's have a quick look at this one here for position number 3, I think. Joe Zumo, who's now moved up to that third position. And right behind there is Greg Montgomery, Peter Lee, and Barry Stockdale. Yeah, who's not behind there? Everybody's there.
Oh, Jake Ashe going way wide.
Wow, and now he needs to wait and somebody's going to join him.
He's going to get...
Oh, great. Well, at least he doesn't have to be on his own. This was Scott Allen who made that happening. Oh, and now...
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, guys, and I don't know what happened to Nicholas Mazza. This race is crazy. Nicholas Mazza has moved away and is suddenly on the 8th position. And Ian Worrell is actually on the 1st position. Let me figure this out. Guys, what's happening?
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could explain it. This is crazy.
It was turn 3 and 4 on lap 4.
All right, let's have a quick look. Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, also that issue, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Nicholas Mazza getting caught up with Chas Webber. I think he was able to drive away from it.
Yeah, and that luck didn't have for Jess Weber because he has to go all the way to the back. But that means we see Ian Worrell driving here on the 1st position. Nate Struls is 1.7 seconds behind there. And then we see a big group. Joe Zubo, Greg Montgomery, Peter Lee, Barry Stockdale, Nicholas Mazza already over there. That's going to be very interesting to see. Is he going to come back? And do we already have Liam back in the booth?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Hey, buddy.
Great.
Are you enjoying the race so far?
Oh yeah, these crashes are crazy.
Do you have somebody that you're cheering for?
Huh?
Do you have somebody that you're cheering for?
I don't know his name, but I see a camouflage guy.
A camouflaged guy.
All right, I do think that we're talking here about... is that the car that you see right now? Ian Worrell? Maybe he's a little bit camouflaged. I never know exactly what's on his car.
You think it's Ian?
It could be Ian. But it's a good movement. Let's figure out which car is the camouflage car. Or is he talking about the Nicholas Mazda? Because that is also a little bit camouflage. He is currently on that 7th position. And when you talk about camouflage, I don't think he's talking about Barry Stockdale. I do have to say it's one of my favorites. What is that? That's like golden yellow. Wow, and it shines beautiful.
Yeah.
So, Liam, what do you like about racing?
I like about racing that there's like, if this kind of racing, there's like crashes. Just like the start one, there was like the leader just like crashed. I like the part about racing that there's like exciting crashes or something like that.
Nice. Yeah, that's...
But if it's real, that would kind of make me scared.
Well, it is sometimes scary, but I do think they're all safe, and especially when it's not real, then we have a little bit more excitement about it. You're totally right. We're currently looking at Nate Strules, who has a little bit of difficulties because he has Joe Zubo right behind there, and he's really trying to look now, see if he can make any moves, but he's not doing that right now. I always like it when they smoke, Liam, when the cars really go into the dirt a little bit.
There's a great battle back here with Kurt Smith, by the way. He is locked, engaged in a battle for position here, and doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, and talking about his livery, have you seen his the drivers, or the heads on there? He's quite literally put all his fans on there, and the people that are watching his broadcast are actually on his car, all his friends. And he does make an awesome move over there while I'll talk about it. Look at that. I think is he passing the 91?
He's defending from Richard.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, that goes quite well. So, Liam, when you grow up, what do you want to do? Would you like to be a broadcaster like your dad, or would you like to race yourself?
I would probably be a broadcaster.
Oh, wow. Well, we always need good broadcasters, so great to have you already here, and we'll work you in, no worries. We'll make a time schedule for you. And while I say that, I do see that Nicholas Mazda is having a hard time with Barry Stockdale. They're really fighting hard for that position number 6. Nicholas Mazda, 5th positions now, needs to climb up.
Yeah, and right behind them, Zach Snyder and Rusty Pottenberg are getting together. Rusty's really applying the pressure for him.
Hey, Liam, what do you like about broadcasting?
I don't really know. I just like to watch and see the races and cheer for someone.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
great
have
to
a-
hear that. Sorry.
Do you have a racer in SF2 that you like? Do you like Jake Ashe?
I don't really know who I'm cheering for yet.
Oh, okay. So,
Oh, that's a
by the
smart
way,
one.
yeah, Liam's vote is up for grabs here. So,
Well, maybe Joe Zumo. Joe Zumo is here going into the pit together with Nicholas Mazda. So they're the first one who actually go into the pit and do a Jake Ashe. Curious what Jake thinks about that. He's currently on that 20th position and is not even close to the pit street. Well, Nicholas Matza is here waiting and waiting and waiting. And we see Joe Zubo already getting ready. So that could be an interesting couple. Nicholas Matza together with Joe Zubo. All right, here goes Ian Worrell driving on that first position, but Nate Struls is now getting really close. Is he going to make it before the pit stops, or are we gonna see an undercut or anything like that? Oh, there he goes. I was saying it. Ian Worrell goes into the pit together with Nate Struls. That means we have a new leader over here. Let's have a quick look. We see Greg Montgomery is now for the first time in that first position. Peter Lee 1.9 seconds behind there. And then we see Barry Stockdale with Rusty Pontenberg. Lap 12, so makes sense to also go to the pit right now. Let's drive along with Barry Stockdale, who's trying to pressure Peter Lee for that second position. So Matt, what would you now do? Would you go into the pits if you were Barry?
I think so, but it's hard to tell because we take a look at their lap times. They're running pretty similar times.
Both go in over here. Look at that. He's following Peter and he's making... Oh! Well, in my view, it looked like he nearly hit that wall, but seems to be all okay. So let's have a quick look. That means Greg Montgomery all by himself now. Basically, everybody has went into the pit. And Ian Worrell is coming out. Curious to see if he can... clear the whole pack over here again. We see Peter Lee already coming out, but he doesn't have the speed right there. Ian Worrell does come out as quickest, and he is now again our virtual leader because Greg Montgomery didn't go to pit yet. So, Liam, are you still with us?
Yeah.
All right, great. Yeah, sorry, sometimes the connection with your dad goes off, so I never know. I always ask before I say something. But I was wondering, do you also watch in the morning, Sunday morning, our broadcast?
I mean, I don't really remember how much times I watched you guys broadcast.
Can you remember that your dad was a champion of the league? It's a long, long time ago.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Well, okay, you're in, Liam. Exactly, that was my point too. I have no idea how he did it, but he did it. One time he was the champion in the BRL. Never appear in this league because I don't think.
Hey, Liam, do you remember?
Here.
Do you remember when Mr. Sean sent us the diecast? You know, the little model car.
No.
No,
You don't remember that?
Didn't happen.
Okay.
Chris, you're just making things up. Come on. What was actually your last race of... I remember your last race of SNS. That was in the Red Bull Ring. And when I say that, we're talking a lot. Barry Stockdale is getting really, really close to Peter Lee. I'm surprised to see... where is he? Where's Nicholas Matza? Oh, he's already on that second position. Look at that. Nicholas Matza up back over there, second position. He doesn't have any trouble anymore with his good friend Chas Weber. All right, so let's talk about Nicholas Matza. He's currently on that second position. Chris, and Matt, when do you guys think that he's actually gonna out-qualify himself and goes one league up?
It's really tough. This is such a fast track. I love. Oh, we got Kurt Smith spinning out there. Sorry. I just happened to be watching Kurt Smith, and he unfortunately took himself out of the running there just real quick. But yeah, this is a very fast track. There's not a lot of turns. It's not clearly not a super technical course, but you know, just being able to run clean laps here goes a long way. I am really, really interested to see how this ultimately ends out, because I think we've at this point kind of spread the field out to a point where consistency is going to actually play a part in this and ultimately win the day.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I also think maybe even blue flags could be interesting, because we're currently driving along with Ian Worrell, and I do see also, if you see on the track map, there are a couple of people behind him, but also a couple of people in front of him, and they're going to be a little bit slower. So I'm curious to see if that's going to happen. I do want to mention Chas Webber. He is back into the pit right now. But he is driving again. I like that when people have big mistakes, and I always find it difficult to actually come back to track. But he's doing that really well. I do see that Dempegowski gets passed over here. Or they're making a move on that. Look at that. Very interesting to see. The number 27. Oh, and everybody goes off track over there.
When you're racing like that, it's very easy to drive someone else's car, and so if they go off track, then you follow them. It's just follow the leader all over the place.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we saw over there. I do want to go back to our race leaders, Ian Worrell and Nicolas Mazza, because Nicolas Mazza is getting really, really close right now. We're not even on that second pit stop. Remember, the SF2 always have a second pit stop in this race. And while I say that, I also see Nate Struls going hard into that corner with Joe Zubo, but can't make that right over there.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch somebody, but it's another thing to pass. I think a wise man once said.
Yeah, but I do think that Nicolas Mazza is different than anybody else on the moment. He has that speed, and he's going to make definitely progress over here. But I do have to say, Ian, great driving from him. So consistent right over there. Now we see that Nicolas Mazza is going to make a move, or at least no, he's not. But he is looking in the inside. Make sure that Ian Worrell is aware of him. Make him nervous. Here he goes on that outside. Is he gonna make it? Does that stick? It does look like the inside corner is a little bit better. Ian Worrell has a nice run, but now he needs to defend, but he has that inside line. Can he hold that? That's gonna be for position. On the current moment it doesn't look like it, but we're still not to that first corner. And Ian Worrell can now...
So close.
Yeah, but Nicolas Mazza knows how to turn this car very, very well. I've seen that in all the other races. And he's again back on that first position. Oh, and Ian Worrell needs to keep it safe. He's done such a good job. And oh, look at that. Ian Worrell, was that a dive bomb? I don't know. But he came out of that corner right in front of Nicolas Mazza. And they made it safe through. Is there damage?
I don't know, but Joe Zubo's eyes are getting pretty big now.
Yeah, and what about Nate Struls right behind there? Thinking the exact same thing. Let's do this.
Oh, look at that move to the outside. Nick Mazda just making an absolute boss move there on the outside. He's going to take over the lead from Ian Whirl.
Yeah, and we do see that Carter Stickney goes into the pits. Justin Diven I saw really quickly going in there as well. And that means that we will see some more changes coming up. And it's also fun to see that it's not that far away all from each other, eh? If you go, oh, and Ian Whirl, yeah, Ian Whirl is going to make it exciting for Nicholas Mazda. That whole group is going to come together. I'm going to predict to you that Nicholas Mazda is going in very quickly. Shouldn't be in here.
So, Liam,
yeah, go ahead.
So, Liam, are you thinking Nicholas, Ian, or Joe?
I totally agree. I can't choose between those either.
Yes.
Found that very difficult to see, but I do think that Nicholas Mazda is going ahead. We see Joe Zubo going into that pit.
He's gonna go down the pit road, yeah.
Ian.
Oh, you think Ian? Okay, interesting choice. I like it.
Pressure's on, Ian. Get it done.
Pressure is definitely on. Joe Zubo is down pit road.
I haven't seen much from Melody Chance. What is she doing? I love that real gold new paint of her. She's currently on that 10th position behind Dan Pagowski.
She started in 17th, so this is some good progress.
Oh yeah, and then right behind there you see Richard Raboya, 11 positions up. Currently our hard charger up here.
Yeah, those two. I mean, clearly Richard's got the edge on the hard charger award, but those two working their way through the field, really great to see. Nope. And we've got all sorts of pitting. Ian Whirl. Actually, Craig Montgomery, Peter Lee, and Barry Stockdale all staying out, it looks like.
Yeah, we see Nate Struls also going in with those leaders. It's going to be very exciting to see Nicholas Mazda. Who is going to go first out, Ian Whirl or Nicholas Mazda? Is it going to be... It's Nicholas Mazda who's out, but they're basically coming out. It's the same way as they get in. That normally happens that way. And
Peter Lee just passed Craig Montgomery.
Look at that, Peter Lee. Really nice job. Let's have a quick look how he did that, because that was not on the ordinary place. Oh, on that outside line over there. Oh, and we see Stockdale going off over there. While that happens, he was even amazed with Peter Lee over there. Great job of him, and he's now currently on the first position.
Oh, and Melody and Dan Bogowski are battling it out.
Melody does have a good chance now to go in there. I do hear some pit noises. Who is going into the pit? Barry Stockdale, Zach Snyder. But Peter Lee still on that first position. Look at that. It's been a while since he's been over there, but great to see him. All right, so Peter does see some other drivers now in front of him as well, so he needs to think him out. Is he also going to take a pit? Do you see some nice fighting in the background? Melody Chance is getting really close to Dan Pagowski.
I was going to say, Melody Chance here, right up on the rear bumper there of Dan Pagowski, and
looks like Richard's making a move now.
Yeah, look at that, making use of that little braking zone. Melody unable to get a good run off of the corner exit. That's going to give
Dan Pagowski goes
Richard
into the pit. He had
and he's going to go.
guys.
Okay, so that's Dan Pagowski.
And
yeah.
that's a
All
person,
right, so
a person that we haven't spoke about yet, David Gray. Dave Gray up here, 5th position. Look at that. Great for him. I know a newcomer in our league. And he's doing a really good job there, number 72.
yeah, he's up 9 positions right now, and that's really fantastic to see.
Oh, and while we say that, no.
He's gonna get a little bit loose there.
No. And he keeps that 5th position. Look at that. Great job
Nicholas-
of him. And of course, great job of Chris Girondellis, who kept it clean over there. Always impressive to see that kind of driving.
Yeah, hats off there just for, basically holding up and...
And here we see Peter Lee going into the pit. That was to expected. Greg Montgomery is getting really close. And that means Greg Montgomery is going again in for that lead position. And I see Melody Chung is also going into the pits. Bad news for our newcomer DJ Brooks. Crashed in the back. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Oh, Joe Zubo hit him straight from the back. And that means that there's also a finish for Joe Zubo. Oh, that's an interesting part. Well, let's have a quick look at our number 2, Nicholas Matza, who is driving away from Ian Worrell. So, virtual leader is again Nicholas Matza. And I think Ian Worrell needs to look out that Nate Strules is not getting any closer. All right, and now we're looking at the number 6, Rusty Pontenberg and Carter Stickney, who are getting a little bit more closer. This is a nice fight for position number 6. When I see that Craig Montgomery went into the pit. And if nothing goes wrong, then that means that Nicholas Matza will actually take that first position, goes over the finish line right now. And we're still waiting for Greg Montgomery. He is not out yet. So that really means that Ian Worrell, Nate Strules and Nicholas Matza all are going to be over. And that's our podium for the night. As so far, we're still 6 minutes ahead. Hey Liam, do you like it so far?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. We like it too that you're here. Get a lot of comments about you. They're amazed about your information. So great work. All right, so where do we have a look at? I see Peter Lee fighting for 4th position with Craig Montgomery right now. Do we have any other fights?
Yeah, no, we've got a great battle here for P10. The last 10th, top 10 position here between Dan Pigowski and Richard Rabaha. Look at this, man. They're going absolutely all out here for that final top 10. Richard Rabaha, by the way, up 11 spots at the moment. Dan Pigowski down 2, but
that's
Richard having himself a day. Yeah,
that's a great
really
one.
Fantastic to see.
And then a little bit further back for position number 15, Chas Webber is back into position. Rich Butler is trying to make it difficult, and also Jake Ashe. So really, all those 3 guys that we had some incidents are now back up there. Maybe Chas Webber and Jake Ashe can play the sandwich up with Rich Butler as teammates. Yeah, and of course we have the group Carter Stickney, Rusty Pontenberg and Barry Stockdale who get back over there.
Yeah,
That's
this
still
is a
not done.
great battle here. Absolutely fantastic for P6 here. I mean, clearly we're taking down the laps for when the race
and
ends.
Rusty
Oh my
Pontenberg.
goodness, look at that. Oh! Rusty Pontenberg really trying to send it there. Unable
tried
to make
send
it
it.
stick.
I think he did send it right over there. Wow, that was an interesting move. But yeah, we're getting close, so we need to think about that. And while I say that, Chess Webber is going back in for a second pit stop, or actually his third, while Joe Zuo stops on the back over there. And that means that we still have our leaders, of course. Nicholas Matza, Ian Worrell and Nate Struls. Not too far away from each other, but far enough that it's not going to be a battle. Right behind there, I think Peter Lee is now getting company of Carter Stickney, or no, Peter Lee is actually getting really close to Greg Montgomery for that fourth position.
Yeah, you mentioned you thought you would see Peter a little higher up on the qualification, but it's been persistent.
Hey,
Steady Eddie,
yeah.
Peter persistent, just putting in the laps, not making the mistakes.
But it's really nice to see that from Peter. It also doesn't matter. He drives the GT, he drives this skip. He has done a lot of V races. He's always safe. It's really great to see that kind of driving style. Proud to be a team member of him. And while I say that, we see that Rusty Pontenberg has a lot of difficult time with Barry Stockdale. Barry Stockdale is going to try there for the inside. Is he going to make that move? Yes, he's going to make that move. Now we need to make sure that he can hold that, because the next turn will also be in favor for Barry Stockdale. If he can hold that. Interesting. Yeah.
They're definitely testing the net code there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Rusty Pontenberg took the safe route and is slotting right behind there. And that means that he's currently on that 8th position.
Yeah, just behind them, Dan Bukowski and Richard Boya still going at it.
Yeah, Richard Verboya is getting closer and closer. Is he gonna? He needs to make a move. I think. Are we on the white lap or white flag or not? Otherwise, we're very close. I do see that Greg Sharp had made an issue with his fuel. I know that he was talking about that, and he's going in for another pit stop. And while I say that, Richard Verboya is going up there for the 10th position, or at least he's trying. But Daniel says no. But we're not done yet, and look at that. Also now, who's coming there back? The number 101. Oh, that's Justin Diven. He's just trying to also make it very exciting. Don't want to forget, of course, Nicholas Matza, who's now driving, just finishing that lap. And we do have an extra lap going on. This is going to be the white flag. And I'm curious to see if everybody thought about that. Or are there more people that now actually need to start thinking about pitting? Ian Worrell and Nate Struls continuing their drive. Right, Rusty Pontenberg. Is he going to go back on that position number 7? Barry Stockdale is going to defend very, very hard. Matt, where's the best way to make a move now?
I think for the last lap, it's going to be the last turn. If you can get a run out of there. Or it takes some setting up from the double right-hander.
Yeah, while I say that, that last turn is now going to be for Nicholas Matza, who has done a complete upside-down drive. Was from the front, was in the back, and is now here driving over the finish line, and actually comes to that first position. And we do see that... oh, what happened in the back over there? I see Nate Struls coming in to the second position. Greg Montgomery is third. And then we see Peter Lee, Carter Stickney, Barry Stockdale, Rusty Pontenberg is coming over the line right over here. Is missing the spot with Barry Stockdale. Richard Verbora 9th, and Dave Gray 10th position. Great to see that. Oh, and Ian has gone out over there. I think Ian is the one that... yeah, Ian lost his car, or lost the fuel, I think. And that means that that was our race. Interesting to see that.
Yeah.
And now we go always to one of my favorites, and I know, Chris, it's one of your favorites. Liam, we're going to the parade. Here is where all our drivers are just going to drive around and be thankful that they had a great race, and that's why they drive over here. Maybe you can say which driver was for you the favorite one. Which one did you like the most?
I was cheering for Ian, but at the end he just went out.
Yeah.
I think, what happened to him?
I don't know. That's a good question. I hope he's coming into the booth at one point, and maybe we can ask him. Chris, who was for you the most driver of the day?
Yeah, I gotta admit that I had a few that I was cheering for, but at the end of the day, I gotta root for my boy Peter Lee up just a few positions there, and bringing home a comfortable P4 for the day. Yeah, that was a really great response there from Peter Lee.
All right, and this is then the special. We do this especially for Liam, so pay attention on the TV. This is done, and we don't show this much often, but the SF2 crew has requested, or they want to see the complete lap. So here they're all gonna get ready for one big special crash, and that's where they are right now. Liam, they're going mad for you.
What do you think about that, buddy?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's crazy over here. And I do see that we have Ian Whirl in the booth. Ian, welcome. First of all, we have Liam in the booth, and you were his favorite driver, so already you won a prize.
All right, I feel better now.
Exactly. So let's do this. Let's have a quick rest, Ian. You can have a rest for 10 minutes. We're gonna take a small break, and after that, we're gonna be back for a very exciting Formula One race. I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to another exciting week of Sunday Night Skippy racing action. We are joining our favorite drivers here tonight at Oulton Park, and I, for one, am excited. Not for the least bit, because we have some actual SF2 drivers joining us in the booth tonight. For one, we've got Craig Montgomery. Craig, how are you doing tonight?
Well, I'm excited. I just had my first podium.
Your first podium in SF2, which, by the way, is a shock to me because I feel like you have had the pace to get a podium for nearly your entire career. But how did that feel tonight here at Oulton Park?
That might be true recently, but it wasn't in the beginning. I just haven't put a race together, and today I finally did. I really like this track. I've practiced on it a lot. And I knew that from the pace I'm able to do that I would at least be able to be in the mix if I can stay out of trouble. So, and it worked out. Yeah, it worked out.
Well, it's an excellent job overall, and we also have some other SF2 drivers with you. Ian Worrell. Ian, talk to me about your race tonight.
Well, hey guys, it's good to be back again. It started out really well. I got a fantastic start right off the grid. Got myself up into P3 and was settling down behind 1 and 2, who really were quite a bit quicker than me. And then they crashed. I don't know exactly what happened, but there was a crash, which gave me P1. And I held that quite comfortably through the first pit stop and almost up to the second, I think. And then one of the drivers just caught up. I couldn't keep him behind me. We had a little bit of a wheel-to-wheel battle, but I realized that there's just no way to keep him behind me, so I let him through. And then just before the penultimate corner, my iRacing game crashed.
Oof.
So it would have been P2. So at a P4 start, it would have been a P2 finish. I'm going to consider myself having got a P2.
I guess I owe my
go.
podium to that.
There you go. Oh my gosh.
Well, also competing tonight, Peter Lee, joining us in the booth as always, but had a very fun SF2 race earlier. Peter Lee, talk to us about your race.
Yeah, I'm both happy and frustrated. I'm happy because I finished P4, and anytime I finish in the top 5, I'm super happy. It's the competition and the drivers are so great. I really feel like that's a gift. But it'll take me about a month to get all of the exhaust from Craig's car out of my lungs, since I'm basically sucking his exhaust for pretty much the entire race. I couldn't do anything to Craig. He was just way too fast for me.
Well, that's fantastic. I gotta ask you, what was your main takeaway, and what are you looking forward to in this Skippy Formula 1 race?
Well, I think Craig said it. Staying out of trouble, surviving, especially the first 3 or 4 laps. It takes a long time on this tiny track for the tires to come up to temperature, and it's just so treacherous. I think that's going to determine a lot. Ian was earning his P2 because people ahead of him were caught out by the cold tires on those first few laps, and so that'll be the thing to watch here, I think.
Although watching Leo put down a fastest lap of a 106.02 with barely warmed up tires, and I think his first fast lap was even in that same kind of region. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
There are places on this track where even with warm tires, if you get too far on the grass or too far on the wrong curb, it'll snap you.
Oh yeah. Actually, what's weird is the Foster's part, where you come down down through turn 1, turn 2 on the carousel, and then you sort of go right, and then you've got that little very hard braking zone into that little chicane piece.
Yeah.
If you get too far on the outside of that corner, and your wheels are not in the right direction, it will just throw you off the track.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
I bobbled and Peter got past me.
Yeah, and I think several. I saw Dan Pagowski. I think he ruined his race there. That is very, very treacherous, and it looks like red and white curving, but I actually think it's a big slab of ice with some motor oil poured on top of it.
There you go. There you go.
I figured out what
Hey.
it is. If you have too much steering on when you go over that, that's when you'll snap.
Yeah.
But if you can get straightened out before that, you can power over it.
So I
Not
feel
the
like we
easiest.
may have crossed it already, but Craig, I gotta ask you, like, what was the biggest surprise for you tonight?
Well, when I was in like the lead pack and the 2 leaders crashed, that was a big surprise. I had to really check up to stay out of that, and because of that, I got passed by a couple of people, and the lead pack got shuffled a bit, so that was pretty surprising. I mean, frankly, whenever I have a really good race, I'm surprised because so
That's fair.
A big surprise for me, which I didn't experience in the pub races, was just how strong the draft is. Because just on pure pace, Craig was, I'm guessing, about a half a second a lap faster than me. But, I was able to keep up with him because of the draft. And so when we're watching the SF1 race, that's something we're probably going to watch. We might get several draft packs going.
I had cars in front of me too a lot of the time though too. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting.
And it's also
there's a
extremely difficult to get past your blue flag people. I mean, unless they get completely off the racing line and slow down, there's not a lot of places for you to pass them,
I had a
yeah.
pretty scary moment with a blue flagger late in the race.
Looks like qualifying's finished.
It is. Well, thanks for having me, guys. I'm going to hop off and watch the show.
All right, Greg.
Well-
Well, thank you very much for joining. Great. Well, let's start that tradition. Let's have interviews with our Formula 2 races. Great to see you over there,
I like
and
that.
I love to see you more in here. So, Greg, thanks very much, and enjoy the show. While
Thank
we
you.
talk about that, let's have a quick look about the grid, because we do see Leo Akhtarov again on that first position. He did have some incidents in the previous races. We might have to talk a little bit about the championship, but currently Mike Bowers is on the second position and Jeff Snavely is number 3. And where is Jeffrey Decker? Our current leader is only 7th. That is a really big opportunity for Leo Akhtarov. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think that's huge because Jeffrey is going to have to get past some incredibly fast drivers. Chris Herrera, Michael Howard, Carl Dronke, Jeff Snavely, Mike Bowers. If Jeffrey wants to make contact with Leo Akhtarov, it's going to take some doing.
Yeah, and then right there, Alex Oulton on 8th position. Great from him to see him over there. And of course, Max DiGiacomo is in that top 10 on the 9th position. And Scott Bell, I think one of our longest time drivers in here, always solid in that top 10. And here again, Scott Bell. And then we see a new name, Tim Haas. 11th position. Great for him to start like that. Would love to have that kind of qualification in my first race. And then we see Brian Perez, who was so happy with that first position and is now already on that 12th position. Curious to see if he can top that one more time and climb up a couple of more spaces. And right behind there we see Steven Durr, Aaron La, Philippe Jeté. Philippe Jeté, 15th position. That's a little bit far away.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think that this track maybe caught a few folks out for the
Yeah.
ollies. I don't know. I mean, it's easy enough to get an off track, especially coming out of turn 1. So maybe that might be something, so that rather than getting the putting down the lap they wanted, they messed it up a little bit. I don't know. I mean,
Let me
Yeah.
point
Hard to
out,
say.
all 27 drivers on the grid today are covered by less than 1 second in their qualifying time.
that's true.
That's
Wow.
amazing. I do want to point out RJ McKenzie on 18th positions. We see Jason Burkheimer 19th, Joseph Noah 20th, and then Jonathan Dockery. And also a solid rock in this league is on that 21st position. Andrew Cole 22, Charlie McCarthy 23, and then Chris Stewart 24. Oh, that's a little bit low. I've driven with him on the GT3 and was a lot quicker than this. So curious to see if he can still come up. And then we see his last Sammy Bridges, Benjamin Harris, and Sean Ross. Well, look out for Sammy Bridges because he is gonna make some chaos in the back. I want to bet.
Yeah, and just to point out, every single driver qualified in the 106s, which is just incredible.
It's going to be an interesting race. They're starting to grid up.
Yeah, this is always the moment where I'm getting more nervous and nervous.
And we'll have to keep a close eye, especially on the first lap, maybe the first 2 or 3 laps for the turn 3-4 complex, which is called Foster's. Extremely treacherous on cold tires, and so I'm guessing these drivers are so experienced they'll be tiptoeing through that, but we'll want to keep a close eye.
Right, and the lights are going on. Leo is getting into that first position. Is he going to be there also after this corner, or is Mike Bowers going to make a move? Let's have a look. Look at that, Mike Bowers already goes wide, but can hold off, I think they have Snavely on the back. We see Jeffrey Decker already looking in the inside over there. I think that's Carl Dronke right in front of him.
Everyone tiptoeing through Foster's. It's looking clean so far.
And we've got some new drivers as well. We've got Tim Haas, who is now up to, I don't know, where's Tim up to? He's up to P11. He's at P11.
So we did have one driver, Jason Berkheimer, did go off track in Foster's, but did not damage the car. So he's running 27th right now.
Nice to see Team Bell in 10th. He won't be bouncing as much this time as he would normally.
Oh, and
Chris
we do see
Ferrer into the pits.
Yeah, that's probably a penalty or in that way.
Right. Yes. Yep.
Leo Akhtarov is still leading the race. Mike Bowers really close behind there. And then Jeff Snavely. They're trying to get away, but Michael Hounik is really close behind there together with Carl Dronke. And Jeffrey Decker is in that 6th position, currently 1 position up.
Yeah, and so far they're all really sticking together quite closely, so we haven't really got any serious separation going on as yet.
Right. Mike Bowers is putting some serious pressure, though, on Leo Akhtarov up front. And, it looks like Leo's already having to drive a little bit defensively, which is helping the trio of Michael Hounik, Carl Dronke, and Jeffrey Decker catched right up to there.
And while you say that, Mike Bowers is making a move over here. Look at that, goes on that inside. Leo Akhtarov gives the room over there and takes that next inside. But I do think that Mike Bowers has a better position on this. Can he make that move?
Well, he's got overlap, so you can take the inside of this corner, push Leo a little out, but you can see that that's slowing them both down, and Snavely's looking to take advantage of that.
And really, you want to be on that outside there so that you have the inside position right here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really the complete top 10 is together over there.
Yes. And
we do see that right in front of it, Alex Oulton is now trying to make a move on Max DiGiacomo. And Scott Bell is looking in there. I do think that Max DiGiacomo takes that position back.
Scott's up one place into P9. But back at the front, Mike Bowers is pushing Leo. He is challenging. And being such a short track as well, it doesn't give you a lot of places to get away from the others. So Leo is really not able at this time to gap anybody.
Yeah, and that's with the draft effect on this track with these skippies. I would be surprised if Leo would be able to shake Mike Bowers and Jeff Snavely. And so we'll have to see. Someone will have to make a mistake. I think,
look at Carl Dronke. Carl Dronke made the move over Michael Hounik on that long straight. That was a really great overtake. I didn't know that was gonna happen over there. And we do see that Jeff Snavely is now making a move on Mike Bowers, and this is all in favor of Leo Oktarov, who can start to run away.
Oh, it looks like Carl Dronke, Michael Hounik have gotten great runs. It looked like Mike Bowers might have gotten a little bit loose on that red and white curbing on the exit of Fox.
But the gap from Snavely to Oktarov is still only 0.7. So he's still inside the tow zone.
But look at the Carl Dronke. Is he going to make that move on the inside? He's looking there. Jeff Snavely should be scared about that.
And Carl is very quick here.
Yeah, he is very quick. He's quick everywhere. Look at that. Goes again. Has to have a look over there.
And then don't forget, this is a track that's been around for a while. It's been used many, many, many times by skippies in many, many, many seasons. So Carl has been racing with Skippy for quite some time, with iRacing for quite some time. So he's very familiar with this track. And maybe that's going to give him a little bit of an advantage.
Look in the back, 17th, Jonathan Dockery is right there to overtake Jeff Torbeck. But he's not making the move right now. But he was looking very, very smart on that. And I do see that Andrew Cole is right behind there, and also RJ McKenzie.
Well, and right in
there
front
goes
of
Jonathan Dockery. Misses that a little bit. Now he needs to be safe on that inside. He is really well, but losing a lot of spots over there.
Yeah, boy, that dropped him down to P22. But, you know, ahead of that Jeff Torbeck, Jonathan Dockery battle was also Joseph Noah and Brian Perez. And we have another incident. Looks like Jonathan Dockery might have bumped wheels. Looks okay on the back straight.
And all this time, Leo is slowly dragging that gap out. He's at now he's now almost 1 second, 9.96 over Carl Dronke.
Yeah, and Carl Dronke, I don't think he's looking ahead. He's more looking in the back, because Jeff Snavely and Mike Bowers are making it really difficult for him. And then, of course, Jeffrey Decker. Jeffrey Decker is waiting long. What do you think? Does he have a different mind game on this one? Is he going to do a lot of fuel saving?
Well, it could work here. You know, the other thing I'm noticing, we are seeing some draft packs. You know, I'm looking at a draft pack, Sean Ross in P19. Right now, just trying to hold on to P19, but he has Chris Stewart, Charlie McCarty, and now Sammy Bridges coming up on his tail. And they're all in Sean Ross's draft. And that's a battle for P19. And that's behind then the P16, 17, 18 battle of Jeff Torbeck, RJ McKenzie, and Andrew Cole right up ahead.
Yeah, it's basically everywhere there's a fight going on. Currently, Michael Hounik puts up the fastest time. But he's, of course, in that pack right behind Mike Bowers and Jeff Snavely. Can make a lot of speed. I have the feeling that Jeffrey Decker is saving fuel. Max DiGiacomo is right behind them as well.
Well, Carl Dronke has gotten around Jeff Snavely and is in P2. But, you know, this could be a situation where they're just leapfrogging each other due to the draft. And then, you know, Mike Bowers and Michael Hounik right behind.
Yeah, you say that, but I do have to say in this race, I don't think it's, if you leapfrog, it's very difficult to cooperate that with so many different drivers, and who's going to do what. That's going to take a risk. I think you just need to take it easy and go see if you can actually catch up with Leo, because it's not done yet. It's still, they're still in that draft. So this is not the moment to do any leapfrogging or anything like that. And I think they all understood that message, even from Max DiGiacomo on that 7th position. And we do see that Scott Bell has overtaken Aaron La, or is Aaron La coming back to that?
Scott Bell's up 2 positions, and the gap to Leo has just dropped by a few tenths. They're just over 6 seconds, 6.6 of a second behind him now. So they are getting a little closer.
Sorry, I'm still looking at the fight over here with Tom Haas, Aaron La, and Scott Bell, because they are so close to each other. Philippe Cete is now also trying to see if he can get into that fight. J.R. Hoops is right behind there on the 12th position, 4 positions up.
Boy, in each of these draft packs, it is so close. I'm right now watching the draft pack being led by Jeff Torbeck in P16. But R.J. McKenzie is just sticking his nose in everywhere. In fact, as they come here.
Oh, and look at this. Max DiGiacomo is going to make a move over Michael Haunick.
Oh.
Is he going to make that stick? Because now we suddenly see that there is no cooperation over there, and they're actually trying to gain some spots. I also see Jeffrey Decker losing a little bit of time over there. Is he going to hold on to Mike Bowers? Because that needs to be done if you can actually catch up with Leo Oktarov, who is currently completely in that front pack again. Carl Dronke has really reduced that. Really nicely done.
Yeah, Carl is up 4 places into P2, and he's pushing. He's getting closer and closer and closer to Leo. And Jeff Snavely and Mike Bowers are like, "Yep, we're following you, mate. Carry on smartly."
I had the benefit of having a coaching session at Hungaroring with Carl Dronke, and one thing I learned sitting in his car while he drives is he gets on the throttle incredibly early. Way before the apex when you could, you would never think you could get on the throttle that early. It's just the car control is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we do see now a little group up here with Leo Oktarov, Carl Dronke, Jeff Snavely, Mike Bowers, and Jeffrey Decker. Although Michael Haunick is pretty close up there as well. And Scott Bell, what is he doing? He is again in that big fight over there with Aaron Law. They do the same trick, and I think this worked out quite nicely for Scott Bell, and is working out quite nicely again. Right behind there is going too wide now.
Yeah, and I like Scott Bell's position here as you're coming into Foster's because Aaron Law should be compromised here. We'll see if Scott gets a good run coming out of Foster's. It does look like he has a good run. Now up the hill, let's see if he can make a pass.
Yeah, but Tim Haas also has a good run. And now it's going to be tricky over there. Oh, and behind
Aaron
there...
is being beautiful. Aaron is making his car so wide. Right down
yeah,
the
but also
line.
Jete there, the number 17, is going really, really close by it as well. Beautiful images of these beautiful cars.
Yeah, that was some beautiful defensive driving by Aaron Law right there.
And we've got RJ is challenging Chris Stewart and Jeff Torbeck, and they're coming up into Druids now, and they're going into the corner 3 wide.
Yeah, that can't go well. That's Chris Stewart, who went off track 3 wide in that last corner. Is not possible. I think we have proof on that one right now. And while I say that, I do see that JR Hoops has started to get involved in that position, and Philippe Jete is now dropped back to 12th position.
Yeah, that'll be an incident for Chris Stewart, and that was R.J. McKenzie.
I think RJ tapped him.
Oh, guys, have a quick look at the front. We see Leo Oktarov, Carl Dronke basically glued together. When is going to be that first pit stop? And am I correct that we're only going to have 1 pit stop in this race? And when I say that, Carl Dronke is going to make the move.
And Carl is going to go on the inside. I don't know if he'll make it stick. Because Leo's got the advantage, unless he's going to dive into the pits. Nope, he's not. They're staying on track. And if Carl could keep the car there, he's going to have the advantage into turn 1.
That's true, but I like this position because I think this is the favored position as you're coming into turns 3 and 4.
Oh! He had to back out of it there.
He was right over there, and Carl Dronke chose the right path and said, okay, I'm going to wait for that.
Are not welcome. Your wheels are not welcome there.
But look at this amazing driving from these front top 7. All so close together and can really run away from that second group.
Yeah, in fact, they're a full 6 seconds ahead of the second group being led by Aaron Law. And so that is incredible.
Yeah, and Scott Bell is pressing Aaron all the time.
Yep.
And he is so close behind him now. He's less than a tenth back as he takes the outside position going into Druids.
But Aaron is really driving
Lodge.
beautifully and defensively, and I think that is contributing to them being slower than that lead pack.
I think you're right. But somehow he's found that make my car wider pill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and slowly JR Hoops is hopping places with all that fighting, and we do see that Aaron La is going to go completely wide. So I'm curious to see what the rest is now going to think. What is Tim Huss going to do? Our new driver, beautiful livery. I always like it when people spend time on their car, and he definitely did that. And while I say that, I think Scott Bell is going to try to see if he can make a move, or at least make Aaron La very nervous.
Quickly up front, Carl Dronke is taking inside position going into the Druids and has made the pass on Leo Oftarov.
Nice call, nice call. Thank you very much. That was great. We could definitely see that happening. And I'm curious to see, because I see Jeffrey Decker immediately trying to make contact. To say, hey, let's see if I can make that move. And he does make that move, stick on Mike Bowers. And goes now straight behind Leo Oktarov. Jeffrey should be very, very excited to see that.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's back to where he wants to be. He's just got to figure out where he can get there and just make that lunge down the inside.
Boy, Ian, you know, we were just racing here, and those are some pretty brave moves.
They are, but they're fun, though.
Yeah.
It's, you see what it is, again, it's our league. You trust the other guys. They know that you're there. They know what you're going to do, and they give you the space to do, you know, they don't just like ignore you and slam the door.
So just to set the stage for the entire track, you know, we have this lead group of 7, led by Carl Dronke, but then we have another large group, starting with P8 and Aaron Law.
Scott Bell passes Aaron Law.
Oh, and Scott Bell, and that is a group that is another set of, 8 cars, all the way from P8 to P15.
Yeah, they're going to make it 3 wide. Look at this. They're going to make it 3 wide over there. Scott
3
Bell
wide
is
doesn't
do
work.
That. No, we've seen that before, but let's see if we can...
Scott gives him space, backs out of it, and that lets Philippe Jette gives him a bit of a little run.
And then there's a third pack, starting P17 and RJ McKenzie. And, you know, RJ McKenzie is being seriously hassled by Charlie McCarty, with Andrew Cole just lurking right behind.
The next time we should get RJ McKenzie into the booth. I'm really curious how he feels in this different pack, where he needs to fight and look ahead as well, and not just only look backwards. I'm curious to see how he likes this Formula 1, but it suits him. Look at that 17th position, and this is where he belongs.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at the second pack. It's from Brian Perez all the way up to Aaron La. They are just nose to tail, keeping in each other's draft, and pressing each other all the time. It is fantastic driving to watch.
Yeah, you can't say anything about that position, because like 15 till now, what is it? 11th or 8th are basically all fighting together.
Yeah. 8th to 15th.
Well, it's just what we were talking about before the race. You know, the draft is unusually effective here.
All right, and we're going back up to the front, guys, because Carl Dronke has a difficult time. We see now that Leo Oktarov and Jeffrey Decker are really pressuring him in, and we do see some contact right in the back. Or not? Is that?
Yeah, it looked like Michael Hownick might have tapped Jeff Snavely's gearbox, but I don't see any damage to...
But we do see Leo Oktarov trying to go on there, see if he can actually make that happen. He's not. No, and now it's immediately Jeffrey Decker. He's going to make a move over here. Mike Bowers is also trying to see if they can make a move. But Jeffrey Decker is going to have a look on the inside. Is he going to make a move on Leo?
He is. Look at that. And Leo lets him through, backs out of it a little bit, which then lets Mike Bowers. And it looks like, we've got someone in the pits. We've got Carl Dronke in the pits.
Carl Dronke, yes.
For his first stop.
All right, so Carl Dronke is the first one. He's basically our Jake Ashe of the Formula 1, who actually goes into the pit. And that means that Jeffrey Decker is suddenly in the lead position. And that's quite surprising. I wouldn't have guessed that after 17 laps. He's done that really, really quickly. And now Leo Oktarov and him are back onto the battle.
Yes. Now looking back, it looks like Philippe Jette is trying to make a move. Tim Huss is on the outside going to Foster's. Oh! And JR Hoops right behind. But they
Yeah, and
are.
they're still too wide. It's not done yet. Philippe Jeté keeps that really tight, but Tim Haas really makes a nice move over there, and he can come up to that 9th position. But now we need to worry about J.R. Hoops, who's on that 11th position.
And Carl Dronke's come out of the pits in some clean air, so he can kind of just get on with it. He hasn't got anybody to worry about right now. Yeah, he's not going to get the draft, but also he's not dealing with any back markers, any blue flags, nothing like that. So he's just running in free air, so he can put some good laps down.
Yeah, we do see
how this all
that
works.
Leo Oktarov and Max de Giacomo have both again into the pit. So that's also going to be making some differences.
Philippe Jeté also jumping into the pits.
And Carl is coming down through Stagged Leap. Nope, sorry, I lied. Druids.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
he's now
Stagged Leap. Yeah.
exactly. He's now going over the line. I'm curious to see if he can pick up with Leo Oktarov, who is already out. Max de Giacomo is a little bit slower in that way, but we do see that
I
Leo
think
Oktarov
Leo's
is actually.
got the jump.
Yes, he got the jump. He is ahead of Carl Dronke. Carl Dronke now needs to fight back because he's
Now-
even.
That is amazing. Now, was it because he's short fueled, or was it because Carl had a bad lap? I don't think Carl had a bad lap.
No, I think this is Leo Oktarov, who trains in everything, and now he is done also in pit stops. So he's not the weakest spot on that one. And while I say that, Jeffrey Decker goes in together with Mike Bowers. I did see some smoke over there, but I think everything went fine. But Mike Bowers has a really great run. Needs to park up a little bit further than Jeffrey Decker.
It's worth mentioning for the viewers that the pit entry here is really tricky. It has just a very short pit entry lane. You have to slow down. You're in
All right.
4th gear by the time you come
Jeffrey
in.
Decker is going out. Mike Bowers is going out. I'm very curious to see where Leo Oktarov is on the moment. I don't think he's going to get
Leo's
there.
not going. He's just going around Lodge now, and they are both ahead of him,
Wow.
which puts. So
That
Michael-
makes you think what Carl Dronke then did. If
Yeah.
Leo was even not catching up with Mike Bowers, and that is an amazing job of Jeffrey Decker. Is Jeffrey Decker now going to run away and make his championship worth even more?
Yeah, now Michael Howanek is going in for his pit stop. Jeff Snavely still is staying out.
The undercut is huge, my friend.
All right, I do have to say that we have to talk to the FIA for Jeff Snavely's fuel box, because he is all the time longer out than everybody else. That's suspicious. That guy is like the 22 who doesn't have to pit. Look at that.
He does seem to be more efficient with fuel somehow. So it might be something with his driving style.
And then you have Aaron Law and his crew. J.R. Hoops, Scott Bell, Tim Huss, Joseph Noah, Steve Durr, Brian Perez. They're all in there.
Meanwhile, Carl Dronke is now fighting to catch up with. Gracious me.
You know, just noticing Michael Howanek came out of his refueling ahead of Carl Dronke.
Yeah,
So Carl really lost positions, and Jeff Snavely has just passed up the pit entry lane again, so he's going for another lap.
well, Leo just put down a 105.60. Carl is putting down 106s. Flat.
and Jeff Snavely
it's not
just
like they're going
put in a
slowly.
105.8.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something went wrong, I think, with Carl Dronke's pit stop. I'm not sure what.
Yeah,
No,
maybe
we do see that Decker is actually going a little bit quicker than Mike Bowers on the moment, and that's gonna impede Leo Oktarov, who's actually putting the quickest time right now. I think Leo needs to make a move right here, right now, if he wants to catch up with Jeffrey Decker.
Yeah, he has to put these folks out of the way. And Carl really needs to get a move on, although he looks like he's climbing slowly closer and closer.
Jeff Snavely is making his way around the last corner, and again, he's passing
Stays
up the
out.
pit entry lane.
Good Lord. Now, he is 15 seconds ahead of Aaron Law. So he is right now, let's see.
He must have one of those new hybrid
And here
powers.
there's Leo Oktarov has a look, but he's not quick enough over there. Needs to stay behind.
Of course, Jeff's car is going to be very light now, as it's nearly running out of fuel.
So basically that big group all went out. I'm curious to see how they're actually going to go out of this pit. One big group. We see actually JR Hoops going out as first. And then the rest of the flock is moving along. Oh, this is going to be an
That's Jeff.
interesting pit exit over there. With
Yeah,
three
very
whites.
crowded on the
Brian
pit
Perez
exit.
over there. Tim Haas. Aaron La, but they all make it. And Jeté actually makes a little bit spots over there. Or no, he actually takes his spot back from Tim Haas.
Jeff Snavely is in the
now
pits.
coming to the pits.
Okay, now we're going to see.
We're going to see if the overcut.
Well, and then right
is-
behind there, Andrew Cole and Sammy Bridge. We don't see him much in the top, or we don't see Andrew Cole much in the top 10, but currently in that second position. Is he going to hold out, or is he also has to pit right there? I do think that Sammy Bridges is going to go in right there. He really makes it work.
Cole's into the pits.
No, and that means,
They
guys,
really
look at
can-
this. Andrew Cole, our former SF2 driver, is now on the first position. Congratulations, Andrew Cole.
And Jeff Snavely comes out behind Jeffrey Decker, Mike Bowers, and Leo Oftrov, but ahead of Michael Hownick and Carl Dronke.
Yeah, something must have happened to Carl because he seems to have lost a huge amount of time there.
Yeah.
But he's made it up before. He can probably do it again. As we see Scott Bell up into P. Where's Scott now? P10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an interesting fight, but I think after that it's even more. Steve Durr and Aaron La. Aaron La is everywhere where Aaron La is, there's a fight going on. And he is definitely picking one right over here. Getting really
With Philip
close.
Chete as well.
Yeah, and if you say Philippe Chete, then I say Tim Huss, because those guys need to be together. And I'm having good hopes on Brian Perez. Brian Perez is currently on that 15th position, but if he can catch up over here.
Andrew Cole is now in the pits, and he's the last driver to make a refueling stop.
Yeah, and Leo Oktarov has made the move on Mike Bowers. Let's have a quick look if I can see that back, because that was actually quite interesting. Oh, and I do see there is something wrong with Philip Chete. He made a big crash over there.
Steve Dewar has, I believe, has crashed in turn 9.
Yeah, I think you're right. Together with Philip Chete, they were going in there, and then it was actually not that much of. I'm not sure if the number 66 actually lost it over there all by himself, or that he got punted in the back. But we will hear that later. But his car is broken. So let's go back to the front. Jeffrey Decker, Leo Oktarov are now back into those positions. We see Mike Bowers, who can make it very, very difficult for Leo. Curious to see what's going to happen. We have 25 minutes, 20 minutes.
It does look like Leo has closed up the gap, because in the previous lap, Leo was about 3/4 of a second behind, and is now less than half a second behind.
Yeah, he's definitely getting closer. It's now 3.5. 0.35, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and behind there we see Jeff Snavely, Mike Hownick, and Carl Dronke is also coming completely back. So if that track can work together, maybe they can make it move, and they can get it again to that first pack.
Okay, I'd just like to say at this point, so much for me only being here for 10 minutes.
We love you, Ian, and you should always stay here. Look at that, and while I say that, Carl Dronke says, guys, I'm gonna go on this outside. Michael Hownick, look out, because I'm gonna be right over there.
He's really close, isn't he? He's really close. And there he goes. He's going to get overlapped just before that corner. There we go. And he's going to be too wide into Stag's Leap.
Oh, Leo Oftrov has made the pass on Jeffrey Decker as they come onto the front straight. But
how did we miss that one? Well, let's have a quick look how that went, because that's gotta be shown. Very cleanly.
Beautiful pass, yeah.
Beautiful how Leo is doing that and keeps that momentum up there And now Jeffrey Decker needs to pay attention. Is he going to look backwards or forwards? I know Jeffrey always look forwards.
And let me tell you, Howanick and Dronky are like one car. I mean, it's not even throw a blanket over them, it's throw a pillowcase over them.
Put them both in a pillowcase.
Put them both in a pillowcase. Shake them up and see who comes out.
What do you guys want to do with Carl Dronky? Carl Dronky just want to run away. Look at that, he's going to make a move on Howanick.
He gets the position. Look at that.
Normally you say, I'm going to do that after the corner. He's just doing it right before the corner. Great move.
But Nick is like, I'm nuh-uh. As he goes into the stop a stag's leap there, tries to do it too wide, doesn't quite get there.
No, and then in the back over there, Aaron Law has the same position over there, and he's nearly touching our new Tim Haas. Stay away from Tim Haas because he
Scott
made
Bell's
that
just
move
passed JR Hoops. It's all over the place, guys.
Yeah, Scott Bell's just made the pass on JR Hoops for P8.
Yep. Gets him back up 2 positions. Who's our fast charger? We've got Sammy Bridges up 11 places into P14.
Him
As
predicted
he
it.
sits right behind Chris Herrera. Breaks a little early, I think. Chris gaps him in turn 1. Lodge.
Well, and JR Hoops is up 7 spots now, running in P9. He was up 8 spots until Scott Bell got around him, but he's sticking to Scott Bell.
Yeah,
Hey
so
guys,
come
what
around
happened,
Knickerbocker.
what happened to Mike Bowers? He went off track over there, and he's really losing quite a bit of spots. He's currently on the 6th position, but he now needs to see if he can actually catch up with that second patch, and that means that it's the good old fight. Too bad that I don't have the music for it, but ta-da-da-da, it's the Jeffrey Dicker and Leo Octarov show.
Yeah, really, eh?
We're going to have 10 more
goodness
minutes
me.
like that, guys. This
As
is
we
going
go
to be
around
very,
Lodge.
very excited.
They go around Lodge, they're dropping along down through the kink and into Carousel.
Jason Berkheimer has crashed in Foster's.
Oh, no.
The toe.
As they go through and coming up on one of my favorite corners of this track, Knickerbocker. You know why it's called Knickerbocker, right?
I do know the story, but I think it's best told with a British accent.
I don't know. I don't think our audience probably want to hear.
Yeah, maybe that's.
They probably
Maybe,
be like,
maybe that's a
no,
wise
no,
over
no."
one.
If they ask me in chat, I'll tell them.
All right, well, let's have a quick look.
Beckham's going into Stag's Leap, pushing Leo a little wide, and he takes the position back. So
Yeah,
I'll have
for now, but I have seen this happening before, and I also have seen Leo Octave running that outside line here in that first turn, not going to the inside, but actually take that outside line. But he can't do that right over here.
Can I just get some attention here on P11? Brian Perez is being hassled by Chris Herrera. In fact, Chris Herrera is just making the pass on Brian Perez.
Sammy Bridges is coming up, isn't he? He's having a look-see in his pizza car.
Yeah, but I do
Sammy's
have to
up
say,
on 12 spots.
if Brian Perez is already up in the 12th position, then he did make some moves, but how long can he hold Sammy Bridges off?
I don't know. Sammy's going to look down the inside, coming down into the kink and then the carousel. And if he can hold it there too wide through the carousel, he just breaks a little early. But now coming up into the complex before Knickerbocker.
Oh.
And, who's that that went? Where
There's
did he
JR
go?
Hoops. JR Hoops has an alternative route and is coming back onto the track.
He took the Joker lap.
It's the Joker lap, and I do think that it's going to cost him quite a bit of time.
And Sammy's
And,
looking
that
on the
means-
outside now, going into Druids. Brian Perez is blinking a little bit.
No big deal, but Leo Ovtcharov has reclaimed P1.
Oh, well, yeah, whatever.
Well, let's have a quick look how he did that. Is that going to be on the same place? Yes, of course it's going to be in that last corner. Oh,
Yeah.
man, it's going to be crazy in the last lap. That
It
corner,
is.
who's going to take that inside line? On the moment, it's Leo Octarov who actually wins that position back. And he is on that first position, but also look at it round on the back over there. Jeff Snavely and Carl Dronky. Carl Dronky is getting it really, really tight. Is he going to make a move over there? He's done it before,
He's
just
got
before
the
that corner.
pace. He's got the pace, and he's in front of him. He's taking him. He's taking him. Look at that. Dronky
Wow.
is now up another position back into P3, and now he's going to get after Decker and Okcharov. and see
That
what
really
he can do.
is, I think that's one of the best and safest places to pass. If you can get a run going up that
Yeah.
hill.
Yeah, it is easier if you can get it nice on there.
Yeah.
Hey guys, and
I
how is
will
it
say
with-
this.
How's it
Go
with
on.
Sammy and Brian? Because Brian Perez, I think, has a difficult time now with Aaron La, who is going to make it not stick, because Brian Perez takes for that inside line, and he has now the better line if he can hold this. And I do see that also Sammy Bridges is going to make a move on Tim Haas.
Yeah, Tim braked a little early there, I think. And gave Sammy the chance to come in. He gave him loads of space. Very nice driving.
Oh man, I have to say, for a newcomer, great driving, but also very well done here on that 10th position. I haven't seen many drivers who come into this league and immediately take a 10th position. I do know one who came in and immediately won. That was Leo Oktarov, currently on the first position, with Jeffrey Decker right behind there, and they're gapping a little bit with Carl Dronke now in that third position.
Two cars that we haven't talked about too much are Jeff Torbeck and Benjamin Harris, and they're running P20 and P21. But they've been locked in their own little battle of two cars going back and forth, just really driving hard. And they're running some fast laps here, even though they're down in P20 and 21. I think they're showing some real speed and real fight here.
Yeah, Peter, but I think that's also, for me, was one of the good things about the Skippy the Sunday night, was that you always had someone to battle with. Now, look at the time sheet right over here. We see, like, everywhere there's a fight going on for position,
Yeah.
which is amazing to
Cole
see.
just past Charlie McCarty as Charlie's battling back into turn one, Lodge. See if he can get the position back, and he does.
That was nicely done.
Oh, he's still there. They're wheel to wheel, going through the kink and then into the carousel.
Well, and a little bit up the road. Ooh. Phew. A little bit up the road from there, Philippe Jeté in P15 is really hassling Sean Ross. And Sean Ross is up 13 spots, running P14 right now.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about Sean Ross, relatively newcomer up here, I think. There are coming so many new people. There was a discussion about, is the skip still popular? Look at this. We have two leagues completely full, packed to the max. And there are fights everywhere. While I say that Andrew Cole is taking over again a position.
Oh, he lost it! Oh, and he nearly took out Snavely, who now manages to squeeze past him. Oh, he hit the that curb just a little bit too hard as Carl sticks his foot onto the floor and manages to pedal past. And maybe something happened to Jeff. He just lost the place to Hownick as well.
Wow.
That was a wild bobble there by Carl Dronke.
So as the leaders, Leo Ostroff and Jeffrey Dicker, come around the final turn, you see there's just over 3 minutes left. So this would mean 3 laps to go.
Just about.
Yep.
Yep.
And there's a big battle going on for 10th position. Sammy Bridges is there with Chris Herrera. And right behind there is Tim Haas and Aaron La. It's like a double date over there, and they're going to make it 3 wide, or they're not going to make it 3 wide. And they're going to keep it the double date, which is nice enough. But I do think that Brian Perez wants to join that party over there.
Yeah, you get the double date. Brian Perez is the 5th wheel.
Oh, he's definitely the 5th wheel, but don't hold your horses for that. And while I say that, I see that Carl Dronke is overtaking Michael Hownick again, up again for that 3rd position. So didn't lose that much. And what is Jeffrey Decker going to do? Is he going to make a move? He's so close over there.
It's you have to think that Jeffrey is going to be strategic here. This time around, there'll be 2 laps to go.
Well, strategic or not, he needs to have a look over there. And this is where we know Leo Oktarov. He's just going to hold that line. And he's going to hold it. Is he going to hold it till the end?
Yep,
And
that
looks
is
like-
a good line here. For
Yeah,
sure.
that's a good line, because Leo takes that outside really, really well. Look at this. He's going to go out as fast.
No, guys, you got to look at this stuff back here, because we've got a huge battle going on with Tim Haas, Aaron La, Chris Herrera, Sammy Bridges. and Brian Perez. They have been side by side all the way. This little pack of 5 cars have been racing their engines out.
Well, and I told you about Brian Perez. Brian Perez is going to fight over there, is joining now completely, passing Tim Haas. That's going to be an interesting... well, I think this is really a flock of skippies that passes by.
The next time around, the leaders will get the white flag for sure, signifying the last lap of the race. And right now, Jeffrey Decker is ahead of Leo Oftroff.
Oh, and who's this coming to join the party? Sean Ross and Philippe Jeté have now arrived on the scene with this group as they thunder up towards Druids.
Right, so this is the last moment for Jeffrey Decker. He's taking that extra point again. And now we need to see if Leo Oftroff is going to take a position. Can't imagine that he's not going to try it. He's looking everywhere.
Leo is so close to the back of Jeffrey.
And then right behind there we see Jeff Snavely coming really close. I think those 2 fights are really going to be interesting. Is Leo going to make a move over
Leo
here?
got a great run out of Knickerbocker and is going up the hill.
Is the inside going into Druids?
It's very difficult on the inside.
Jeffrey
there.
is squeezing him. Trying to make his car really wide.
And this is going to make the move. Are they going to see it over there? We were talking the whole time. It's going to be that last moment. And here's Jeffrey Decker on the outside.
Oh, Jeffrey had to back out slightly to keep the car on track.
And look at that. This is going to be an amazing finish right over here. Line by line, and they're going to make it. And Jeffrey Decker is making a move.
Decker won. Decker won by
0.04 seconds. And then right behind
That's
there we
insane.
see... let's have a quick look. We see Carl Dronke finish, Michael Hounik, Jeff Snavely, Mike Bowers, Max DiGiacomo. Okay, well now let's have a quick look at Scott Bell, who's coming over the line. How's that fight going on in the back? We see Brian Perez. Is he going to make a move? Oh, Brian Perez nearly finished across of Joseph Noah. Wow. I say wow a lot, but this was great racing.
I
see Jonathan Dockery.
I'm looking at the finish and the finish line, and it could not be closer.
Yeah, the interval was 0.003 of a second. That's madness.
Yeah, and I think that's the right word for it.
Crazy.
Wow.
That really is crazy.
Trying to see if we can get this part back. I think this is a nice moment to have a look at.
Yeah, and Leo was really just squeezing down on Jeffrey Decker.
Jeffrey actually takes the outside, is off track, and then they go by. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Wow. You don't get much more fun than that, right?
Oh, no. It is incredible. Well, let's bring Leo Oftroff into the broadcast booth. And so I will do that right now. Leo, what an incredible race. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, the most important part about that race was to try to survive, because this track is very unforgiving, especially down the hill. And yeah, I mean, I figured if we kept things clean pit stop, maybe a little, safe pit stop, and keep the laps as safe as possible while still trying to push pace. Like, I think we were going to be in a good position, and it ended up being a great position.
So on that last lap, it looked like you and Jeffrey were pushing so hard, but also playing chess. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you walk us through that thought process of that last lap?
Going into turn one, I wanted to kind of put my nose on the inside just to kind of like threaten the dive, and then tuck back in and see if I could get a run down the hill. Which, I mean, it did kind of work, but I didn't get close enough, unfortunately. And then afterwards, going up the hill, that's when things got really, really exciting. And tried everything as I could, but like, you know, got pipped at the end by Mr. Decker.
Well, it really was so close, we couldn't really see it from the broadcast booth, and the difference was 0.003. And so we do have our race winner, Jeffrey Decker. Jeffrey, congratulations.
Cheers, guys. Eventful. Eventful.
Yeah, I think you both should go to the local tanning salon and get the color back in your knuckles. I'm sure it's a little white.
Yeah, I definitely need it. You never want Leo to be the guy on your gearbox entering the last lap, so stressful is an understatement.
So tell us, what you were experiencing in that last lap.
Yeah, I basically, like a couple laps before, I went for it just kind of thinking like, I wasn't sure how easily I could get past Leo if I had to do it on the last lap. He was just so quick everywhere. It really took me nailing the lap to do it. So I kind of wanted to be out in front, just to hope that I could defend enough. And that was it. I saw him kind of think about it in turn one, like he said. It definitely did throw me off a little bit. But yeah, luckily I was just kind of able to hang on to things. And then I just wanted to stay on the outside, coming out of Druids, right?
Right.
I just felt like that gave me the better chance running to the line, as long as I could stay along the outside, heading kind of down the hill and then through the final corner. So that's kind of what I went for. I almost messed it up. I thought basically until I looked at the results that Leo had it. It was so close.
Yeah, we were watching. It did seem like being on the outside, the Druids did give a better run, better position all the way through into the next lap. And that, Leo, that just made the move that you made coming on the inside there that much more impressive. And in fact, right up until the finish line, it looked like you were going to do it.
I know. I tried squeezing while giving enough room as much as I could, and it almost worked. It almost worked.
Well, I think that's got to be one of the closest finishes we've ever had.
I think that's the tied for the second closest. The other closest one was about the same. We don't know what the next decimal point is, though.
Yeah, I think Brands, to end the season last season, we were just talking about this beforehand, was the exact same margin, which is wild.
Good lord.
We're
We're one for one on either end of that.
Yep.
I want to ask one other thing. The other thing that was interesting about the race is, you were in a pack of 6 for a long time. Involving, Carl Dronke, Michael Hownick, Jeff Snavely, and Mike Bowers. But you managed to shake the other 4, not on track, but through your pit stops. And so, was there anything special that you guys were doing to get such an advantage out of the pits?
My main thing...
What's your secret?
Leo, go first.
I mean, like I said before, I try to keep it as clean and safe while still kind of trying to push it going in. But I know that the entrance to the pit stop is kind of hairy, so didn't want to risk it too much. So I probably made it a little too safe. But overall, I think Jeffrey was just faster in the pits.
Yeah, for me, I mean, having qualified 7th and knowing we were going to be kind of in a conga line for a while, I tried to do as much saving as possible because I knew that would be the place where, if anywhere, I could make up some positions. It was either that or people kind of had to make mistakes in front of me, and I think luckily during that first stint, I was able to snatch a couple of positions and kind of work my way up. But coming into the pits, I knew I had to kind of just send it in there and try to have a quick one if I was gonna come out in a good position, and luckily it worked out.
Well, out of the group of 6, you two definitely had the better pit stops, and that allowed the two of you, I think, to just concentrate on each other as opposed to the whole pack of 6. So kudos for sure, and it's something that is a great example, something for all the rest of us to learn from.
Well,
Agreed.
it was a great show to see exactly what you're saying, Peter. Jeffrey, anybody who you want to thank? And does your dog already have a new trick?
All right, I'll leave that for the end. First, I want to thank Leo for the amazing racing. Really, really great stuff. Super quick, towed us around a bunch. I think that probably hurt him a little bit in that pit stop, but always a pleasure. And then yeah, the typical, big thanks to Wifey for letting me do this. Big thanks to Lando. He's knocking at the door right now. It's not necessarily a new trick, but it is an obedience thing, I guess, that he's gotten. He's now has the ability. We live in a city, so he has to go potty like on the sidewalk, and he's such a good boy that we can just let him out of the front gate. He'll do his pee. If he poops, obviously you have to go pick it up, but he can run out there without a leash on if we're like sleepy in the morning and he has to pee, and we don't have to worry about him at all. He comes right back. He's a good boy.
Nice. Well,
Nice.
you're a good boy as well, so great job of driving. But then we have, of course, Leo Oktarov. You're our champion, our current champion still. Who do you want to thank?
I mean, I want to thank everybody in the broadcast booth for doing such an amazing job. Jeffrey for always keeping it entertaining and having a good time with me. Everybody in Shake and Bake, and to Dennis Johansson, if he's watching. What's up, buddy?
EJ.
Awesome. That's a great thing to see that happening. I really enjoyed your fights. It's nice then when there are a lot of people surrounding you guys. It makes the action a little bit more unpredictable. But in the end, there's always the Jeffrey Decker and Leo Oktarov show, and you guys gave it all. I really appreciate that. I want to thank Peter for coming up here. We'll see you tomorrow at the ATC race, and of course Ian. Great racing, and thanks for staying up here. Always enjoy your comments.
Good fun. I really enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I've posted in the chat why Knickerbrook is called Knickerbrook, and so
It's a good story. There's also like Omhole Berry or something like that. The guy's name, right?
Blaster Baits.
Blaster Baits. There we go. What a great name, Blaster Baits. It's incredible.
Only in the UK do they do stupid shit like that.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna have to read the chat if we wanna get updated by that. I want to thank you all for a great racing day, and let's see how everybody has a great weekend, or had a great weekend, and now a great week to come. Monday we're back with ATC, and then otherwise Sunday night, always the best time to watch Sunday Night Skippy at Cavalcade Racing Network.